Got it. And so again, how many clients did you have when you started with us?
Probably like three or four.
Three or four clients. Got
Yeah.
it. And about how much were you making each month when you started?
When I started, probably 1,500, sometimes over 2,000, but around the 1,500 to 2,000 mark
Got it.
per
And
month.
now, 4 months into the auto closer program, how much have you grown your business, your client base, and your income?
Yeah, so I now have about 8 to 10 clients, and I just had a $4,500 month, or yeah, just under $5,000. And I still have some clients that from my old uh, training that I need to
Mhm.
transfer into those commitments. But when that happens, I'd be doing over 6,000.
Everybody else who's watching this, I'm Tony Maslin. I'm a senior success coach here at NPE, and we know that growing your client base and your income is hard. We believe that every fit pro needs a game plan to succeed. I'm really excited today to introduce you to Reid Anderson. He's the owner of Hamilton Fitness in Massachusetts, here in the US. He's a client right now in our auto closer program and is really doing some great things. He's gone from about 1,500 a month to over 5,000 per month in revenue in about 4 months with our program. So welcome, Reid. Great to have you here. Let's dig right in. So tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been in the fitness industry?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me. Great to be here. Great to be with Autocloser and MPE. It's just been a lot of fun this last 4 months. And but to jump in, I've been in the industry for about 5 years now. I started sort of how I got into it. I played soccer in college and sort of wanted to go that route in the sports performance world, and tried a little bit of that doing a personal training at a gym for general population. But then I was also strength and conditioning coach in the college level. So sort of try to balance it that way. So that's where I started.
Okay, that's awesome. And so what type of clients do you work with now?
Now it's just general population, mostly like the 40 to 55-year-old range. Mostly like high performers. A lot of my people are like entrepreneurs themselves, or CEOs, or things like that, in that sort of space.
Yeah, love it. That's awesome. So when you started with us 4 months ago, what goals were you looking to achieve with your business that really led you to NPE?
Yeah, so I basically needed a little bit more structure. I think going from the gyms that I had worked at, everything was sort of systemized for me, and I needed to have that myself. And when I first started, I felt like I was flying like by the seat of my pants on a lot of things. So coming to NPE, the goal was really to build some systems, or specifically like lead generation and marketing, working on that.
Mhm.
And also build something that I could like financially keep myself afloat, and uh, do more for my family. And I recently got married, and so now I'm trying to build something with my family and doing that. So
And what challenges were really stopping you from achieving those goals?
I think, if I'm honest with myself, it'd be me. I think I was getting in my own way a little bit. I think when I was at the gym, I felt really confident in what I was doing, and having people there and the systems I get to fall back on. And then
Mhm.
I think at the beginning, when I jumped into my business, I was a sort of hot-headed little kid, and wanted to just like, oh, I can do this better than the gym is doing it. This is crazy. Like the way that, why aren't they doing it this way? And I think I thought a lot more about what my abilities were, and my
Mhm.
ego got in the way a little bit. And so I needed to overcome that. And challenges with the business, it was just really like lead generation. And now going from like a gym that has members to pick from and call, and now it's like, yes, the world is open and everybody's online, and you can get clients that way. But it's actually, how do you get in front of people? And that was sort of the
All right.
hardest thing for me.
All right. So you're trying to make this transition from an employee working for somebody else to getting your own thing going. You've
Right.
got a family that you're responsible for now, right? It's not
Right.
just about you, and
Yep.
you're kind of hitting this wall. So how did you feel about that current situation?
It was hard. It was hard knowing, like, one, I was sort of the one keeping myself back, but also hard not knowing what I was going to be bringing in the next month. Like I had some clients that I kept with me through the different gyms, but
Mhm.
it was hard to know like when the next person was coming. And a lot of the clients that I had, I was only like we said at the beginning, making like 1,500 to sometime like good month was like over 2,000, and that
Right.
was something that wasn't sustainable. I hadn't had anybody. I had contracts, and they had
Mhm.
a 3-month commitment at the beginning, but then after that, it was just month to month. So anybody realistically could leave at any time, and it
Yeah.
wasn't a secure feeling. It just felt like I was keeping my head above the water.
Okay. So how did you first hear about us here at NPE?
I heard about you guys through. I'm a NASM certified trainer, so and you guys have a partnership there. So
Mhm.
that's how I sort of went to them, thinking like, hey, like I need help with what I'm trying to do. Let me see if my certification has anybody that's they're partnered with, and I found you guys, and I did my homework. Spent probably about 2 or 3 months, like really looking at what you guys were doing, and
Mhm.
the started listening to your podcast, and really was like, okay, like this is something where it seems like these people are can help me where I am now, and like take the steps needed to get to where I want to go.
Got it. And so what really inspired you then to join and go ahead and take that leap?
Um, I think the position that I was in, I knew that I wasn't making a lot of money. I
Mhm.
wasn't in a position where anything was sustainable. Um, and seeing what you guys were doing and having that consistency day to day and like month to month through what your clients were doing, but also then like seeing the numbers that like some of the testimonials were just that's what I wanted, and so that's why I pushed the button on it.
Got it. And so again, how many clients did you have when you started with us?
Probably like 3 or 4.
3 or 4 clients. Got
Yeah.
it. And about how much were you making each month when you started?
When I started, probably 1,500, sometimes over 2,000, but around the 1,500 to 2,000 mark
Got
per
it. And
month.
now 4 months into the auto closer program, how much have you grown your business, your client base, and your income?
Yeah, so I now have about 8 to 10 clients, and I just had a $4,500 month, or yeah, just under $5,000. And I still have some clients that I from my old uh, training that I need to
Mhm.
transfer into those commitments. But when that happens, I'd be doing over 6,000, which is mind blowing to think I'm doing 3 times what I was doing in just 4 months. Like that's unreal.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job. And so, how do you
Yeah,
feel about your business right now and the growth
very
that you've made?
positive. Yeah, like every day is great. Not uh, different stress because now I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I have the base now.
Right.
Let's push and see where the end is and where the ceiling is on this. And now that's a different stress, which is a great stress because I'm not thinking like, oh my God, can I actually do this anymore?
Right. Now you know you're able to pay some bills. This is what you can do as an
Yeah,
actual career.
right.
That's awesome. And so, out of the auto closer program, what are some of the things that were the most helpful for you?
Definitely. Like I said, like the marketing system, so like lead generation, that was definitely a huge help. That was
Hmm.
something that I really struggled with. So going through and seeing that and the different approaches and just how simple all of it was, but like you still
Hmm.
have to do all the work on it, but it was just very straightforward and clear cut the way you guys talk about it. So that was a huge help for me.
Hmm.
Um, and then the sales system. So really getting confident in the pre-qualification process and making sure that you're getting in front of like your ideal client and get building that rapport with them and then taking them into the consultation process that is a deeper dive than anything else that I had ever done before with a
Hmm.
client. And now having that system, I've had, let's see, I think 5 consultations, and I've landed 4 out of the 5. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah. So now, like I said, the problem before, was struggling for consistent revenue, but now
Mm,
you've had, like I said, 5 consultations on the right process to close 4 out of the 5.
right.
So you're able to inspire that commitment. So
Right.
for you now looking ahead, so we're consistently right around $5,000 per
Yeah.
month. We've got some people to transition over to the new phase, or the new programs, which will take you over 6K per month.
Hmm.
What are you really looking to accomplish next? What's your next big goal?
Next big goal is definitely to go into the online space. I had tried different things to get in there.
Hmm.
I don't think that I put the correct amount of effort that I needed to put in there, so I need to sort of kick myself in the butt on that. Um, but definitely the online space and having that as a way to just have a little bit more freedom in my day to day, but also just being able to scale. And looking at that, I'd ideally like to match what I'm making in person.
Hmm.
So then, obviously, together, if that would be over $10,000 a month, probably closer to 12. Which, saying that out loud, that amount of money on a monthly basis from where I started to now is, and like that being my new goal is just I don't even know what to say. It's just wild.
It's a whole different mind. It's a whole different game, right?
Yeah,
Now that you have the confidence that you can build the system and the strategy to connect with the right people.
right. Yep.
Awesome. So, what would you say is your number one lesson learned from the auto closer program and working with us here at NPE?
Biggest lesson learned is that uh, it's okay to ask for help. I think that for me, like my life, I struggle with that. I'm a quiet person. I don't usually engage with people a lot. I think that I try to do things a lot on my own, and whether good or bad, and I'm reluctant to do that. And coming and making the decision to join MPE and join the autocloser program and seeing how it's okay to ask for help and how even when you do, then great things can really happen from it. That's been the biggest takeaway for me is just it's okay to have to ask. And if you're in that position, then just it's fine. Like, because then great things are going to come from it. People are out there that want to help you. And that's just a great feeling.
Awesome. Thank you. So, I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this who are in a similar position as you
Yeah.
were when you started. So, what would you say to somebody who's sitting back where you started? They've been in the industry for a while. They've
Yeah.
got a couple clients, but they're really not making enough money to support themselves
Mhm.
with what they're doing. What advice would you give to them?
I think in this day and age with where the fitness industry is sort of trending with like online and in person and everybody's like going in different directions and there's just so much out there. It's a huge world. I think just go for it. Like it sounds cliche, but just like jump in. Like you're not going to learn just sitting on the sidelines. Like you can and you can observe and you think you can know, but you're not going to actually know until you jump in and start doing it. And when you do, everything is just going to get better. And it's going to require work, but if you like it and you can see yourself wanting to do it, just you got to just do it.
Awesome. Awesome. So again, thank you so much, Reid, for sharing your story with us. We're really
Yeah.
proud of the effort that you put in, and the growth and the changes that you've made. And this is just the beginning. Again, so
Yeah.
there are a lot of great things and growth opportunities for you in the future as you keep driving forward. So if you're watching this on Facebook and you've got some questions for Reid, feel free to drop those in the comments below here. I know he'll be checking those later and happy to answer any questions that you have about his process. So check in back with us next week for our next story. Reid, great talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks,
Yeah, great
everybody.
talking
We'll
to you
talk
too.
to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.